What's up everyone, it's Temple Mavibela here. Today's video is a bit different and I'll be addressing men specifically. And in this video I'll be talking about the 10 things that you have to avoid as much as you possibly can or by any means necessary in order for you not to ruin your life. The 10 things that I'll be talking about in this video are ruining your life and you may be seeing it or you are not even aware of it. So the first thing that men do to ruin your life is to indulge too much in leisure. And what I mean by that is going out, partying, going on adventures, going on hiking, you know, all the fun stuff that you really want to do in life that make life so enjoyable. But there has to be a balance, not doing it too much, you know what I mean? So a lot of men go into leisure a lot more than they have to focus on the things that are more important in life. And I'm not saying that leisure is not important, you know, but if you overdo it, if you are always going out every weekend, on a Friday, on a Saturday, you're out with your friends, you're drinking in the clubs and all of that, that is going to ruin your life in the long term. The reason for that is because you are not focusing on the things that are very important in your life to progress, all right? And then the second thing is counterintuitive because it's actually the opposite of the first point, is not enough leisure or a social life. Mind you that I did say that going into too much leisure, going out partying a lot, having too much of a social life can ruin your life, but there's also a flip side to that, and this is why this is the second point in this video, is that if you don't have enough of a social life, if you're not going out enough, then you may find yourself having problems because, you know, men also need to be in a community. Men also need to build community. So if we are going to talk about the monkey brain, back in the day, men would go out and hunt together while they leave women in the village or whatever settlement that they are in. The women are socializing together with the children. The men are also socializing together when they go hunting and when they go gathering. So in today's context, we are not going out to hunt. When I'm hustling, I hustle alone for the most part. But I do need to go out with friends. I do need to go hiking, such things. You know, I do need to sometimes go out partying. Although partying for me is not something that I prefer. I prefer going hiking. I prefer going to the gym. For me, that is leisure. And I get to interact with other people. I get to have a social life, and I ensure that I have friends because I've made the mistake of not having friends. I've made the mistake of not going out enough. You know, you have friends that will invite you to go out and then you're just too busy, and then eventually they stop inviting you. Eventually those friendships, they dissipate, you know, eventually those friendships are going to evaporate, right? So not going out enough, not having enough leisure, not having enough social life can be ruining your life. You know, when you are depressed, who are you talking to? When you feel anxious, you're probably just in your brain too much alone, isolated. You are not meant to be isolated. All right, guys, listen. This channel is not monetized at all. It's not making money, and also me doing these videos is actually just for the benefit of you guys and the benefit of myself. So if you are liking these kinds of messages that I portray on this channel, please do consider sending this to somebody who will find it important, that will be good for them, and also hit the like and subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. And also it would be great for you to send me a donation, and I'll leave details for you to send donations in the description. Thank you. Number 3 is too much alcohol and drugs. I think with drugs, generally, if you are taking drugs, there's a problem. There is a problem. And with alcohol, if you are taking it occasionally when you are out with your friends, again, having that social life, when you are having leisure, or do they say having leisure or it's just going out for leisure? I don't know. I'm not that great at English, but when you are having a social life, when you go out with your friends once in a while to have a drink or two, that's not too much of a problem. Although personally I don't drink at all and I don't take drugs at all. And mind you, I've done these things. I've taken drugs, I've done alcohol, and I know that it's not worth it. I was ruining my life. I was slowing down my progress. I could have been much further now in life if it wasn't for those things. But I'm also glad that I did go through those things because I've learned very valuable lessons in life. Which leads me into number 4, dating the wrong woman. I'm going to stay a little bit long on dating the wrong woman because a lot of men actually ruin their lives more with dating the wrong woman than the other points that I've mentioned before, or even the other points that I'll mention afterwards. Dating the wrong woman can ruin your life in many kinds of ways. And Let me just make simple or a few examples. You could be dating a woman who is with you solely because she sees that you are someone that is hustling, whether at a job, whether you have a business, it does not matter. You are hustling and you are gaining income. You are earning income from whatever that you are doing. And she sees that and she wants that. And in order for her to attain that from you, she will come through, give you a bit of cookie, little bit of nookie, so that you can pay for it. It's a transactional relationship in the most part. And if you are one of those guys that are simps, then you are mostly in the friend zone, and the woman that you are friends with, you know that you don't really want to be friends with her, but she's put you there because there are benefits to you being friends with her. And in most cases, when men are friends with women, the woman benefits a lot from the relationship. It be attention, it be financial gain, it be favors, and it's not necessarily always 50-50. And this is where I think 50-50 relationship is very important, because with us men, when we are friends, provided you have good friends, that is, the relationship is 50-50. It's a give and take type of relationship. But if you are friends with a woman, it's only a give. And you get tired, she just throws a breadcrumb at you. This could also be when you are in a sexual relationship with her. Once a month, once every other week, she gives you a little bit of sex so that you keep on providing the things that you are providing for her. For the most part, is money. Like, if a woman is dating you because of your money, she doesn't like you, man. She doesn't like you. And mind you, I'm not saying that you must not have money in order to have a good dating life. Because whether the woman is a gold digger or not, if you've got zero money, my bro, you know that the dating life is not that great. It costs money to go to KFC. It costs money to take a walk, bike out there and just chill at the park. $20 is money. The other way that you can ruin your life with women is dating women that are crazy. There's women that will ruin your life out there. You know what I mean? There's women that will ruin your life by tarnishing your reputation. The women that will accuse you of SA. There's women that will accuse you of things that you have never done just so that they can ruin your life. We know many men that are in jail cells for things that they didn't do only because they got involved with the wrong woman. These are women that they were dating over the long term. These are women that they met at the club last night and they just didn't think with the brain in their head. They only thought with the other head downstairs. Their lives get ruined. You know, another way a woman could ruin your life is her stepping out on you, her cheating on you. How many of you have been cheated on by a girl when you were 18, 19? She cheated on you with some older guy or some guy that she said you shouldn't worry about. He's just a friend. He's my best friend. He's like a brother to me. And ever since that happened to you, you are unable to have healthy relationships. How many of you? Be honest with yourself. And when I be honest with myself, I've been through this. And it didn't happen to me in the ages of 18, 19. It happened to me when I was a bit older because I am a bit of a late bloomer. But that happening to me has made it difficult for me to have relationships afterwards, you know, and only now I'm actively thinking that, wait, man, I've got things that have affected me relationally with women from childhood, and when I started getting into relationships with women, there's things that have ruined me because of the trauma that I experienced in those relationships. But now I do understand relationships and I do understand women, and unfortunately, one thing that I'm realizing as I get to understand women is that you can't understand women and love them at the same time. But you can't love women and understand them at the same time. And if you are one of the people that can balance the two, lucky for you. But you do understand that there are going to be ups and downs in the relationship. You do understand that there is the other side of women that we are not really taught. I've stayed a bit long on this topic of dating the wrong woman, so I am going to move on. But dating the wrong woman can absolutely ruin your life, so try to avoid dating the wrong woman. Point number 5 is not investing in yourself. And not investing in yourself means not attaining enough skills. And this is not just skills that you get from school. A lot of people go to school. After going to school, they go to varsity, they go to college, and they attain a skill, and that's the skill that they are going to depend on over the rest of their life. That used to be possible back in the days of our forefathers, our grandfathers, and our fathers. But in today's age, It is not that easy to depend on one skill and you can take care of yourself indefinitely. There's a lot of people that have lost their jobs from the time of the pandemic. More people are still losing their jobs now. And we live in Africa, we live in South Africa. I'm mostly speaking to South African men because I am South African and I'm experiencing life as a South African man. We live in South Africa, we live in Africa, and anything could happen to make you lose your job. There could be riots that go over a week that ruin your company, you've lost your job. Or your business is fucked. There could be a civil war, there could be civil unrest, there could be a pandemic, or there could be economic issues like we have here in this country. Your business goes down or you lose your job. And if your business or your job was the one skill that you had, you find yourself unable to survive going forward. There's a lot of men out there who are suffering to this day, and they lost their job back in 2019, 2020, because that's the skill they had, and they're still trying to apply for jobs in that skill set. Last year at my shop, I had a guy that I was working with, or he was working in my shop, and he was practicing to be a nail technician, which is quite a good business. And nowadays men do these beauty industry businesses because we have seen there's the money in this shit. But the guy was a flight attendant or was cabin crew before that, and he lost his job. And after losing his job, he lost everything, and he's suffered for a while until he decided, okay, let me learn to do nails, and he overpaid for that, and he was not getting good enough, fast enough, and as a result, it was clear, man, when you look at the guy that, oh man, you are going through shit. It was clear when you listen to the guy talk. His relationship is going through the pits because of the situation he finds himself in, and his wife or girlfriend, of course. But when it comes to providing, it is the man's responsibility, and obviously he felt that. And this is a man with 2 children or 3 children, somewhere there. I'm not going to mention his name because it will be unfair to do that. I'm not going to over describe it, but because the only skill set that he had at that moment was working in cabin crew, he is obsessed with going back into cabin crew, and it's very difficult. SAA went under, and there's a lot of other people that have lost their job in cabin crew and many other industries, and if they didn't have other skills, they find themselves suffering. So let's go into point number 6. It's not taking care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, I mean any form of physical training. Physical training, whether you run, whether you lift weights, whether you do CrossFit, and another important one is doing some form of combat sport. If you're not taking care of your body, you are unfortunately decreasing the longevity of your life. Never mind the fact that we are living on earth, never mind the fact that you could be in an accident, you could die in a crime, or anything of that sort, like a disaster. Anything that you don't have control over. But if it's something that you have control over, like taking care of yourself, then you might be ruining your life. Okay? And with the point of combat sport, it's good because it helps you and teaches you self-defense and also discipline. I'll tell you a story. In 2021, when the mother of my child was pregnant with our child, we were taking a walk at N Street, Joburg, CBD, around 7:30 p.m. in winter. It was really dark. We were just taking a walk. I was going to the store to get some coffee. And as we were walking there, a guy brushes against my shoulder from behind. I'm walking with her, we are holding hands. A guy brushes behind my shoulder. I look at him and I'm like, yo, what's up? And he was like, what's up? What's up? He was ready to throw down. And in that moment, I looked at him and I knew that, oh man, I could knock you out easy. And in front of him, there was another guy walking, holding a bottle, and I realized, whoa, they are together. But both of them, I can knock them out easy. First batch, then second batch. But then I was also situationally aware because I have trained my mind obsessively, and I've also trained in combat. A few paces away, like a few steps away forward, there was 3 other guys. There are with these 2 guys. I am trying to push my woman back because anything might just happen. She holds my arm and I realize I'm trapped here. And the pride in me wanted to fight these guys. It wanted to fuck up these guys. But then I realized something. She's pregnant. She's incapable of defending herself. The best form of self-defense in this moment is to de-escalate everything. So this guy right here is pissed off. He's ready to throw down. The other guy is walking, approaching me. He is drunk. He is out of his mind. Like, he's just out of it. He's holding a bottle. He's walking, stumbling towards us. And this is what I did. When I saw him, I was like, hey, my nigga, how's it, bro? We dabbed it up as if we know each other. Because he's so drunk, he's just going, yeah, how's it? And then the other guys that were a few paces away, remember, we're still slowly walking forward. I greet the other guys, and the other guys are just like, yeah, what's up? You know, as drunk as they are. Him, he's still fuming, but he realizes that, okay, I know the other guys, so chances, if he fights me, they might not back him up, they might stop the fight instead of backing him up. So in that moment, I did defend myself and I did defend her successfully. The next morning, obviously, my pride got a hit from that, and she didn't even realize what happened on that day. But we could have been fucked up. It was at night, man. And you know how dangerous these drunk dudes are? They don't care if you're with a pregnant woman. So I successfully defended myself and her. So it is important to train physically, mentally, and also to train some form of combat sport. Number 7, loser friends. Loser friends can ruin your life. And loser friends come in many shapes and forms. Loser friends can be guys that only invite you when they have to go out to drink every single weekend, but don't help you find a job, but don't help you start a business, don't help support your business to grow, don't help you get customers. Those friends are losers. Yesterday I saw a video of a guy sending a voice note to his friend, and in the conversation, the friend is inviting him for a ladies' night. And the voice note the guy sends to his friend, before the voice note, the guy says, "Now I can't go out with you." And then the other guy asked, "Why not?" The guy says to him, "Look, my guy, last week I asked for 200 rand because I needed things for cosmetics. I needed cosmetics, things for me to bath. And you couldn't give me that money. But in the same weekend, you wanted to invite me to go out. This weekend, you are inviting me again. You're not even asking me if I'm okay with the 200 rand that I needed last week. I'm not working. You're not my father. You're not my brother. But me asking help from you as a friend is not too much. And now you are inviting me to a ladies' night. Go out to your ladies' night, but I cannot be going out with you." You see, in that moment, I don't know who this guy was, who he is, but I felt a sense of pride for this guy that, you know what, he stood up for himself. Like, look, man, I'm incapable of going out to buy drinks, let alone buy myself cosmetics. And here you are as a friend of mine, I'm asking you to help me. You can't help me, but you want me to go out. That guy is a loser friend. Another one is a guy asking a friend to borrow him some money, and the friend refuses. He asks the friend, "Why do you refuse to help me?" And the guy tells him, "Listen, bro, when you need help, you come to me to borrow you money. But when you go out to have fun, go partying or whatever, you have your own group of friends and you never invite me. So go ask those guys for the money." The other guy said, "Okay, I understand. Thanks for the clarity." Those two mature responses. But those are the kind of loser friends that you want to avoid. And loser friends come in many shapes or forms. Sometimes you've got a friend that you don't trust around your woman. And I'm not saying trust like men around your woman, but there's friends that you know for sure, whether you are in the presence of him or not, he would be sneaky around your woman, or he would be sneaky around your money. Friends that steal your money, friends that keep secrets from you that are monetary. Cut off those people. Number 8 is trying to impress friends, or trying to impress people. Mostly people that you don't even know. Impressing the loser friends. I don't need to go too much into this because you know that when you're trying to impress people that you don't know, that don't care about you, it involves you spending money. You don't really have to impress these people, and look, in many cases that is going to ruin your life. You know this. I don't even have to stick too much into this one. And then number 9 is something that I almost did, man. Having children too early. And what I mean by having children too early is not when you are not yet financially ready, although that is very important. I think having children too early is when you are too young age-wise, and you are too young mentally and emotionally. Okay, emotional start here. I don't know why I'm pointing here, but having children and you are not mentally ready to have children, you may ruin these children's future because you are going to expose them to childhood trauma. And a lot of times a lot of the time, we are exposed to childhood trauma through our parents, and they don't even realize that they are putting us through that because they don't know any better. But we are in a generation where we do know a bit better. So emotionally and mentally, we have to actively work on ourselves. We have to be prepared for us to have children. I know I wanted to have children when I was much younger, but I was not ready mentally, and I was also not ready emotionally. And I think I am now. And the reason I say I think I am now is because I see flaws that I do have that I have to work on. And I'm doing that actively so that I have a safe environment for my daughter to be raised in. Although financially not super ready, but I think I am stable enough to ensure that I can provide for her to the best of my ability, that is. And the path for me to making sure that the provision that I provide for her gets better and better over time is much clearer for me, because now I do have the experience at the back end. So going forward, the experience that I have gained will help me on this path that I am on. And this is where they mean a child is a blessing, because there's people whose lives have been saved by having children. Although it could ruin your life, there's people whose lives have been saved by having children because they were ruining their lives with other things that I have mentioned in this video, and many other things like crime and so forth. But having a child woke them up, and they got saved by having a child. That's why a child is a blessing, because you want to see your own seed doing good in life, and therefore you ensure that you yourself do good. In my situation, I was already doing good. In my opinion, I understand that I was doing good, although not at a pace that that was optimal. Yeah. And now it is much more optimal, and the things that I wanted to do in the next 10 years, the path to getting to them is so much clearer for me, and I understand that I can do them in the next 5 years. And the last thing that is important for you to avoid in order for you to not ruin your life is not eating healthy food. And that is to a reasonable amount. The reason I say not eating healthy food to a reasonable amount is because healthy food is quite expensive. It is expensive to store, and it is expensive to buy. We live in South Africa, and we have load shedding, or we have power outages that can go on for days, sometimes even weeks, depending on where you are. So if you have a refrigerator and you buy healthy food and you put it in the fridge, it might go bad during load shedding or during a power outage. Buying processed food is cheaper, and it is much cheaper to keep, but it is also really important to have a bit of a balance. Almost every day is a cheat day for me when it comes to food, because I do eat processed food, but I do eat it to a reasonable amount. I try to not eat too much processed food, and it is better for me now because financially I am doing better. But if I think about myself 7 years ago, it was much more difficult to not eat processed food because it was cheaper and I didn't have the financial means. That is it with today's video. If this is the kind of format that you like and you have reached this point of the video, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Hit the like button and subscribe.